dancing around, looking beautiful from their head to the ground. I know you're saying that it ain't your bag, but I say just relax, cause life ain't a drag. The drag show, the drag show. Zach and Stu, that pair is a must. The drag show, with Maybelline and Wanderlust.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Drag Show. Stu Smith, Zachary, and tonight our amazing guest, San Francisco's gift to the world from a period not too long ago, Sister Boom Boom. Thank you for joining us tonight, Sister.
Thank you for being here, Sister Boom Boom.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure being had.
Well, we love having you here with us.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, tell us what you're up to these days.
I'm not up to much, really. I would like to, well, there is, well, what am I up to these days? Really very little.
Very little.
Really very little.
Considering that you were up to so much
Right.
in the not too far distant past.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Well,
it
you know,
was another century.
Well, it was a time in San Francisco in which things were really, really, really happening. It was one of the most
things are
exciting
really
periods of our
happening
time.
now.
They are. They are.
And,
but
you know,
I'd like
it's
to ask you about some of the things you were doing back then.
I had my day in drag. Actually, what I've been doing now, I mean, my God, with the Israeli bombing of Gaza, I've been out of a lot of the demonstrations, and a reporter was very nice to interview me, and I was trying to get across the point. There are just so many Jews now opposing the bombing, people who've not wanted to say anything about Israeli atrocities, but, you know, it's sort of like you have this big, awful, violent drunk in your family. You try to hide it and ignore it, but at one point, you just can't anymore. Anyway, she referred to me in the paper as known to former generations. So it makes me feel like a relic. And, well, in a religion, being a relic is a holy, beautiful thing. So
absolutely. What clear perspective. You know, but
it comes with age, honey.
I'll tell you, I'm 68, and I think it gets better every year, and I really, truly mean that. But not everybody shares that opinion.
All in all, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because I remember, you know, when in your heyday, when things were so happening, you know, back like at the convention, the Democratic convention. I remember when you were in the National Enquirer, when you were in Time, when you were in Newsweek, when you were shaking the world from San Francisco and teaching us a new way to look at things. That was the young, vibrant Sister Boom Boom who burst upon the scene and really started offering a radical alternative to a very passive present in those days. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like then?
Well, my vision wasn't so entirely new. It was built on years of community activism. I mean, inspired by heroes like Bayard Rustin and the Cockettes, the Angels of Light, Harvey Milk, Sylvia, the great drag queen who fought back at Stonewall. I mean, you know, there have been heroes. I mean, Jose Sarria.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness. So what I did was not particularly new. It was just an expression of the day, of that same fierce drag queen, rebellious spirit that fights for people to be free.
Do we have a call? Oh, look at that.
Oh, my God.
So maybe you can clue us in.
Well, about the same time the sisters were getting started, I was in Sluts A Go-Go with Doris Fish, Miss Leading, who was later Tippy. Actually, she was always a little tippy. And Frida Lay and the mysterious Miss X. And in the back there is Matt Finish. Oh, and there's a little clipping from the, I think that's from Time or Newsweek.
Wow.
But that was around the convention. And that's from 1983 when I ran for supervisor.
Now, I think only two people, you and Jose, ran for supervisor in that period of time, and then Harvey followed you guys sometime later.
Oh no, Harvey was before me.
Was he really?
Yes. I mean,
oh my God.
This is sort of the funny thing, and all the stuff that's come out about Harvey lately, and there are these anachronistic posings of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
78.
And there's a TV production of Execution of Justice, which was historically mostly very good, except it has Sister Boom Boom fluttering around Harvey Milk, But he was killed in 1978, and the sisters didn't appear until 1980.
That's right. He was 78. Yeah.
So Jose Sarria preceded Harvey, but I was
Jose was in
about
the
5 years
60s, I believe.
afterwards.
So when
Early
was it that
60s.
you ran in the 80s then?
I ran in 1983.
Okay. And who was running? You got 23,000 votes from what I read.
Well, we were still in at-large elections, so I wasn't running against anybody in particular. I didn't have to attack anybody, although I did take a few swipes at Diane.
I heard that. I remember that.
I'm sorry I didn't bring in a picture of the poster that has me in my habit flying a broom over City Hall with the smoke trailing behind. Surrender, Diane!
Surrender, Diane.
I love that.
Oh, that's great. I remember Joan Hitchcock also ran against Diane, and she was kind of just, she was a wonderful, colorful lady who liked to drink constantly. And,
well, that helps
had the money
in
to
politics.
do it. Yeah.
One of the reasons I got out of politics.
So on to showbiz. Some more.
This was with Armistead Maupin.
Oh, yes.
We were co-emceeing the sisters' ball softball game. I have to qualify what kind of balls the girls were playing. It was softball with the gay men's chorus.
All right.
And that was the very first fundraiser for the Gay Olympics, back when we could still call it the Gay Olympics.
That's right.
And they were stopped, and they have to call it the Gay Games, but I still call it the Gay Olympics. I'm not under any court order. Well, at least not in that regard.
And so you did that dog show, and that ran for a couple of years, didn't it?
Well, yeah, we had a couple of dog shows. The first annual dog show was organized by Sister Lita, Dog's Life. And that was a terrific success. It was one of the very first fundraisers for what was then the KS Foundation, and later, when we found out what was causing KS, it became the AIDS Foundation. So I had the historic honor of emceeing one of the very first fundraisers for the AIDS Foundation and for the Gay Olympics.
Wow. That's
so,
terrific.
I mean, I was just very lucky to be at the right time in the right drag.
That's amazing. So then, what happened after some of these events? Did you when did Sister start retiring?
Oh my goodness, it was more like Sister crashed and burned. Oh dear, dear, dear. Well, let's see. 81 was the first dog show. 82 was the second dog show, and I'm sorry, it was 82 I ran for supervisor. 83 was the recall election. 84 was the Democratic Convention, where we had the big exorcism of Jerry Falwell and Phyllis Schlafly. And 85, I got sober.
My God.
And it's like the public persona was so much at war with the private persona that I just crashed, burned, collapsed, had to get out of it. I got sober, and I just disordered. And
that's a huge change, you know.
It was a huge change, and you know, it's like back then, and you know, it's like I really can't say what the sisters are like now. So what I'm saying is purely historical, nothing about the girls today. But back then, oh honey, the drugs and the booze, and I just had to get away from that to get my own act together. And oh yes, the drugs and the booze.
The drugs and the booze. As we see the sister rolling what appears